Joel Edgerton is one of Australia's most in-demand talents, a chameleon of the industry, the actor and filmmaker, now stars as a stoic rowing coach in The Boys in the Boat, a sports drama about a team of underdogs who sailed into the history books.
The starting gun is up. Oars to front stops.
Ready! Row!
On camera, they're a ragtag team of rowers, but behind The Boys in the Boat, there's some major star power.
Rowing, particularly in the 1920s, was one of the most attended sports in the United States.
George Clooney's ninth feature film focuses on a university rowing team who made it all the way to the 1936 Berlin Olympics, an inspiring story that was overlooked until now.
The big story of the 1936 Olympics was Jesse Owens.
The world's most superb runner makes the others look as if they're walking, as he wins the final and equals the world's record time.
But this is one of these stories that when you hear it, you're like, oh, it's perfectly a true life story, very suitable for being filmed. It's a real people's movie. I think it's so nostalgic, and it's an underdog story.
Washington Huskies coach is bringing an inexperienced boat to the competition.
I don't think you ever see an overdog sports movie. You know, like the team that has all the money and is definitely going to win, and you don't care.
Loses a bit of the drama.
Yeah, and I actually started thinking about it. I think the reason we all love an underdog story is I believe we all think that we're underdogs in life. So when we see a story about that, we get behind the person we think needs the help.
They said we couldn't compete with the richest schools in the nation.
The Washington boat has taken the lead. Washington has done it.
I got 9 seconds under the course record.
Had you worked with George Clooney, who is the director, before?
No.
What were you expecting?
Gorgeous George. I'd heard stories about him being fun to work with, which is true. Any given day I heard like 10 or 12 juicy Hollywood stories, which...
Well, let's go.
All right. Who can I throw
Give me
under
your
a
best
bus?
one.
I broke up with Chloe because... God help me.
You're a director yourself. You're a great director, I will say, too. I've loved everything you've done. So what's it like when you are a director and you're working with another director who's also an actor and you step in front of the camera with them? What does that relationship end up being like?
Just roll your eyes a lot.
I'd do that.
No,
I'd do that so much better.
Look, the worst case scenario is you get directed by an actor turned director who is like, you know, get out of the way and let me show you how it's done, which he could easily have done, but he's not that guy. I think after directing 9 movies, he really knows what he wants. So there was no like overly labouring on things. And it was a challenging shoot because we're shooting from one boat to another boat. You know, just water adds time.
Another challenge was turning the film's young cast into Olympic-grade rowers within just 5 months, something Joel was spared from as he played their coach.
I always, when I was growing up, played various sports. I always fancied myself as like having some athletic career, which is totally obviously not happened.
Was it going to be AFL? Was it going to be cricket? What was it going to be?
No, cricket, soccer, basketball. I was always just average, but I had good intentions.
But
every coach I had spirit. In these days, knowing how everyone gets a trophy, I'd have a lot of trophies. But, you know, I never really thought much about coaches, but now I have thought a lot about them. You know, they're like father figures. I always sort of remember looking at certain coaches going, oh, they look really unhappy. I've got to do better and I've got to please them in some way. There's a certain power and helplessness to being a coach. You know, it's all about preparation. And then once the whistle blows or the gun fires, you kind of just have to hope.
Everybody else tires, and they just get stronger.
We have a boat that I believe could qualify for an Olympic spot.
When you're choosing projects, what's the one selling point that says, right, I'm on board?
First thing is always character and story sort of in unison, really. And then I sort of wonder about who's making it and who are the other actors and how big my trailer is.
Sure. Is there anyone I hate in it?
Is it going to be how my latte is going to be warm enough? No, I think, like, who am I going to work with? Who's directing it? Who are the other actors?
And is there another directing project on the horizon for you anytime soon?
Yeah, well, I've been writing a lot through this. I was, you know, on strike.
Yes, but not as a WGA member.
Yeah.
Oh, right, so you couldn't write?
No,
couldn't
I couldn't
pick up
write.
a pen,
Well,
couldn't do
the
anything?
rules were you can't write under contract. contract, but
right.
I just write for pleasure.
Okay.
And then I, write things that are not under contract. So I wasn't
that was fine.
doing anything for the big, Death Star powers that they were striking against. But I want to direct something next year or 2025 if I can. Whenever I watch other directors and I'm working for other directors, I get very sort of envious of that process. I would love to direct a movie here because I'm away a bit too often.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Can I come on set?
Yeah.
Do a bit of a shoot with you?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, you could.
I'll
for
hold
sure.
you to that.
For all the people who never believed in you, as one, as one.
That is what you call a classic, old-fashioned storytelling movie. Clooney's just nailed it. It's just got that vibe.
And Edgerton too.
Oh,
like,
he's
he has
great.
that kind of, I don't know, not old-timey, but he just plays those roles so well. I
He
really,
does.
really like him.
Yeah, it's an amazing film. The Boys in the Boat, it's called, and it opens in cinemas around Australia on the 4th of January. We'll be right back.